Greystone High School sat on the edge of a sleepy suburban town, its ivy-covered walls giving it the feel of an old, forgotten estate. Inside its bustling corridors, cliques ruled like kingdoms. Whispers traveled faster than the wind, and secrets were currency. Among the students, one figure had always stood out, Lila Carmichael. With her jet-black hair, piercing green eyes, and air of effortless grace, Lila was the queen of Greystone. Teachers adored her for her perfect grades, students admired, or envied, her beauty. And then there was Jackson Cole, the brooding loner whose reputation as a bad boy was only matched by his sharp wit and leather jacket. He and Lila had been the school's most talked-about couple, until Ethan Grayson arrived. Ethan was new, charming, and gifted with an athletic build and a brilliant smile. Unlike Jackson, who brooded in shadows, Ethan radiated light. Within a month of his arrival, he was the star quarterback and student council president. And Lila, once fiercely loyal to Jackson, began spending far too much time with him. It was the night of the fall dance. Twinkling lights adorned the gymnasium, casting golden hues over the sea of students in formal wear. Lila wore a shimmering emerald dress that matched her eyes, her arm linked with Ethan's as they walked in together. Jackson watched from the corner of the room, his jaw clenched, his dark eyes simmering with barely contained rage. Everyone noticed the tension. Greystone High thrived on drama. Whispers crackled like static electricity. By midnight, the music was deafening, and the crowd was a swirling mass of movement. But then, the music stopped. A scream shattered the air. Students turned toward the source, where a panicked sophomore pointed a trembling hand. There, in the middle of the hallway outside the gym, lay Ethan Grayson. His body was sprawled at an unnatural angle, crimson staining his white dress shirt. A bloody letter opener lay beside him. Chaos erupted. Teachers struggled to restore order as students scrambled for their phones. Someone called 911, and by the time the police arrived, the crowd was buzzing with speculation. Who would do this? It must have been Jackson. Everyone saw him staring at Ethan all night. No way, Lila's been acting weird. Maybe it was her. Detective Claire Monroe was a no-nonsense woman with sharp eyes and a voice that cut through nonsense like a blade. She arrived early the next morning, the gym now cordoned off with yellow tape. The student body had been dismissed for the day, but a few students were asked to stay behind for questioning. Lila was first. Sitting across from Detective Monroe, her flawless facade began to crack. Her hands trembled slightly as she sipped from a cup of water. "Tell me about your relationship with Ethan," Monroe asked, her voice steady. Lila hesitated. "We were close. He was helping me study for chemistry." Monroe raised an eyebrow. "And Jackson? Were you still dating him?" Lila's throat bobbed as she swallowed. "We broke up a few weeks ago." Monroe leaned forward. "Did Ethan know about your relationship with Jackson? Did Jackson know about you and Ethan?" "I don't know," Lila stammered. "I mean, maybe. But Jackson would never hurt anyone. He's just angry sometimes. Angry enough to kill." Lila froze, her green eyes wide. The police brought Jackson in next. He sat in the chair with his arms crossed, his leather jacket slung over the back. "Where were you last night during the dance?" Monroe asked. Jackson scoffed. "In the gym. With everyone else." "Did you see Ethan leave?" "No. But I saw him with Lila. Laughing. Acting like they were perfect for each other." Monroe tilted her head. "Did that bother you?" Jackson's jaw tightened. "What do you think?" Enough to follow him into the hallway and confront him. Jackson's fists clenched on the table. "I didn't kill him. Yeah, I hated the guy. But murder? That's not my style." Monroe made a note in her pad. "Where were you when the scream happened?" "By the punch bowl," Jackson said, glaring. "Ask anyone." The next few days were a haze of suspicion and fear. Greystone High's hallways were quieter, the usual cliques subdued. Whispers filled the air like smoke. Lila became a shadow of her former self, avoiding eye contact and skipping cheer practice. Meanwhile, Jackson roamed the halls like a ghost, his usual bravado replaced with a simmering anger. Everyone knew he was the prime suspect, even if the police hadn't officially charged him. Then there was Claire Michaels, Ethan's best friend and the editor of the school newspaper. Claire was determined to uncover the truth, her investigative instincts sharper than anyone gave her credit for. Late one night, she found herself in the library, poring over security footage the police had overlooked. The grainy black and white footage showed the hallway outside the gym. At 11:47 p.m., Ethan walked into the frame, his phone to his ear. Moments later, another figure appeared, someone wearing a hoodie. The figure approached Ethan, and the two exchanged heated words before the screen went dark. Claire froze. Someone had tampered with the footage. Claire shared her discovery with Detective Monroe, who immediately widened the investigation. It wasn't long before new evidence came to light, a series of threatening text messages on Ethan's phone, all sent from a blocked number. "I know what you did. You'll pay for it." The messages dated back weeks, suggesting a simmering grudge. Monroe traced the number to a prepaid burner phone purchased at a local convenience store. Meanwhile, Claire found herself drawn to Jackson, despite his reputation. Late one afternoon, she confronted him in the parking lot. "Did you know Ethan was being threatened?" she asked, holding up a printed screenshot of the texts. Jackson frowned. "No. But it doesn't surprise me. The guy had a way of pissing people off. Like you." Claire challenged. Jackson smirked, but it didn't reach his eyes. "You're barking up the wrong tree, Michaels." "Then help me prove it." Reluctantly, Jackson agreed. As the pieces began to fall into place, the truth was more twisted than anyone imagined. Lila had been receiving her own threats, warning her to stay away from Ethan. The texts had come from the same burner phone. One evening, Claire and Jackson followed a lead to the school's basement storage room. There, hidden beneath a pile of old sports equipment, they found the hoodie from the security footage and the burner phone. Claire's hands shook as she dialed Detective Monroe. But before the call could connect, a shadow fell across the room. Well, a voice drawled. "Looks like the dynamic duo figured it out." They turned to see Claire Michaels, the newspaper editor, holding a knife.